Sometimes in life, we face choices that feel impossible. For me, the question is simple to ask, but very hard to answer. Should I marry for love, or should I marry for stability? I am 28 years old, and I live in a small town. Right now, I have a boyfriend who is from the same town as me. We grew up in the same place, and I have known him for many years. We first met in high school, stayed friends during college, and 2 years after graduation, we finally started dating. Now we have been together for 2 years, and marriage is a topic we talk about often. My boyfriend is kind, honest, and gentle. He always respects me, never raises his voice, and tries to make me laugh when I feel sad. When I am with him, I feel safe and comfortable, like I am at home. He truly has a good heart. But there is a problem. His family is poor. His parents are sick, and both he and his siblings must spend their money to take care of them. Because of this, money is always a big stress in his life. Even small expenses are difficult for them. Sometimes, just the idea of planning a wedding feels impossible. I love him deeply, but I cannot stop worrying. What will our future look like if we marry? Will I spend my whole life worrying about bills, loans, and medical costs? Will I be happy even if love is strong, but money is always a problem? And then there is another man, a man from a different world, a man who makes this decision even harder. During college, I met another man. At that time, we were classmates in a few courses, and he always tried to be friendly with me. He lived about 120 miles away, in a bigger city. Unlike my boyfriend, his family was rich. They owned a big house with many rooms, nice cars, and even a vacation home near the beach. He was always well-dressed, confident, and full of energy. Back in college, he showed interest in me. He often asked me out for coffee or invited me to study together. But at that time, I was not ready for a relationship, and I only saw him as a friend. After graduation, we lost contact, and I never expected to hear from him again. But recently, he reached out to me. He called and sent messages, saying that he still remembered me. He even admitted that he regretted not trying harder to win my heart before. Now he had just finished his master's degree and was ready to settle down. He spoke directly, without hesitation. Love is one thing, but marriage is another. You might love your boyfriend, but can you really see a secure future with him? With me, you will never have to worry about money. I will take care of you. You will live in comfort, and your children will have everything they need. His words stayed in my mind. On one hand, I admired his confidence. He was offering me stability, something many women dream about. He was ready to marry me right now, without waiting, without doubts. But on the other hand, I felt uneasy. I didn't love him. I didn't feel the same warmth and safety with him that I felt with my boyfriend. Could I really marry someone just for money and security? Could comfort replace true love? His proposal left me even more confused. Now I wasn't only thinking about love, but also about the kind of life I wanted in the future. After talking with the rich man, my heart felt heavy. I kept thinking about his words. He was right about one thing. Love and marriage are not always the same. Love is about feelings, but marriage is also about responsibility, money, and future plans. That evening, I met my boyfriend. We walked in the park, as we often do. He held my hand and asked gently, "Are you tired? You've been working a lot." His voice was warm, full of care. In that moment, I remembered why I loved him so much. He never made big promises, but he always gave me comfort in small ways. He told me about his parents. His mother's health was getting worse, and the medical bills were high. His father also needed care, and his younger siblings were struggling to find jobs. I listened quietly, feeling his pain. He was only one man, but so many people depended on him. I know life is hard, he said softly, but I believe we can face it together. Maybe we won't have much money, but we'll have each other. His words touched me, but they also made me nervous. Could love really pay for hospital bills? Could love fill an empty fridge or pay for rent? My heart said yes, but my mind whispered no. That night, I couldn't sleep. I imagined two futures. In one future, I was with him, my true love, but every day we counted coins, worried about debts, and lived with stress. In the other future, I was with the rich man, living in comfort, never worrying about money, but maybe never feeling the same deep happiness either. I realized that love alone is light, but when mixed with real life, it can become heavy. And I was carrying that weight in my heart. The next weekend, I decided to visit the rich man. He had invited me many times, and I wanted to see his life with my own eyes. Maybe then I could think more clearly about my choice. When I arrived, I was surprised. His house was huge, with tall windows, shiny floors, and a beautiful garden. Everything looked expensive and perfect. His parents welcomed me warmly. His mother smiled and said, "If you marry our son, this house will also be your home." I tried to smile back, but inside I felt pressure. At lunch, the table was full of food, dishes I had only seen in restaurants. Everyone talked happily about travel, business, and future plans. It felt like another world, so different from the simple dinners I usually had with my boyfriend's family. After the meal, the rich man took me on a drive in his car. He spoke confidently about our future together. "You won't need to work if you don't want to," he said. "You can focus on raising children, traveling, and enjoying life. I will handle everything else." His words were tempting. For a moment, I imagined myself living in comfort, without worries about money. I could wear nice clothes, have a safe home, and give my future children the best education. It sounded like a dream. But as he talked more, I noticed something. He spoke about his plans, his money, and his decisions. Rarely did he say we. I wondered if I married him, would I really be a partner, or just someone living under his control? That evening, when I returned home, I felt both amazed and uneasy. Stability was attractive, but it also came with its own kind of chains. The days that followed were full of confusion. I felt like I was standing in the middle of two different worlds, and each world was calling me. On one side was my boyfriend. His world was small, but warm. He made me laugh with simple jokes, walked with me under the stars, and listened carefully when I shared my worries. Even when he had little money, he tried to surprise me with small gifts, a flower, a favorite snack, or just kind words. With him, I felt loved and understood. But his world was also full of problems, medical bills, family duties, and endless stress about money. On the other side was the rich man. His world was big, bright, and comfortable. He offered me safety, a nice house, and freedom from financial worry. He talked about the future with strong confidence, and his family already saw me as a good match for him. But in his world, I felt like a guest, not the owner. The comfort was there, but the warmth was missing. Each morning, I woke up with my heart pulling me one way and my mind pulling me the other. My friends noticed I was distracted. One of them asked, "What's wrong? You look like you're carrying a heavy secret." I just smiled and said, "I'm fine." But inside I was torn apart. Sometimes I imagined choosing love. I saw myself holding my boyfriend's hand, facing hard times together, but still smiling because we had each other. Other times, I imagined choosing stability. I saw myself in a safe home, wearing nice clothes, raising children without worry, but maybe with an empty heart. I realized I could not live in both worlds. I had to step into one, and once I did, there would be no turning back. One night, I sat alone in my room, thinking for hours. The clock ticked softly, but in my mind, everything was loud and heavy. I knew I could not run away from the decision forever. Both men were waiting for me in their own ways, and my silence was only hurting everyone. I closed my eyes and asked myself, what do I want most in my life? Do I want comfort and stability, or do I want love and partnership? The image of my boyfriend came to my mind first. I remembered his tired face after a long day of work, but also his warm smile when he saw me. I remembered how he stood by me when I was sick, how he supported me when I doubted myself, and how he never let go of my hand in public. With him, life might be hard, but I would never feel alone. Then I thought about the rich man. His life looked easy and beautiful, but when I imagined living with him, something was missing. His words were kind, but his eyes always showed control, not true love. He promised to take care of me, but I wondered, would I really feel free, or would I just be part of his perfect picture? Finally, I understood. Love is not just a feeling. It is also the strength to face life's struggles together. Stability is important, but without love, even the biggest house can feel empty. The next day, I met the rich man. I thanked him for his care but told him honestly, my heart already belongs to someone else. I cannot marry for money. I must choose love. He was disappointed but accepted my words. That evening, I went to my boyfriend. I held his hands and said, life with you may not be easy, but I choose you. I choose us. His eyes filled with tears, and he whispered, we will make it through, together. For the first time in weeks, I felt light. The future was uncertain, but my heart was sure.